Hey babes, it's another Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for AWAP Wednesday! Thanks for being here with me. I have a great question this week. It's something that a lot of you have written to me about, actually, and I've definitely had this conversation many times over the years, and it's an issue that I really struggle with too. So I'm really excited to talk to you today about mindfulness. It comes from these two questions that people sent me. I'm going to read them to you from my iPad. How does one live an active life when at any day they might have to stop for the latest test and treatment? Good question. Another person wrote, how do you cope with the forever part of your diagnosis? I had a mental breakdown this weekend brought on by the constant list of I want to do XYZ and the realization that my health might or will prevent a lot of it, and overwhelm. So the concept of forever is very paralyzing. It can really keep you from moving forward and doing something productive if you're focused on the fact that this is going to happen for the rest of my life. That is overwhelming. So I have some thoughts for you on how we can get out of that kind of thinking. Okay, so you got to trust me when I say I understand what this is like. I've been living with chronic illness for 15 years. So I know what it's like to look ahead and then look back and realize I've had it for a really long time and it's not going to stop. And then, I don't know about you, but my week has included an ER visit, a visit to my allergist, a primary care appointment, therapy, occupational therapy, a tetanus shot, and a flu shot, and some stitches. So that's been my week. I think a lot of us have the same thing, and like that definitely adds up day to day and you feel overwhelmed. So my first piece of advice is pretty simple. Cut yourself some slack. If every once in a while you have a little mental breakdown, or you get pissed off, or you're frustrated, or you feel like whining about it, that's okay. Every once in a while that's gonna happen, and that's totally justifiable because life with chronic illness sucks. So cut yourself some slack. Don't get down on yourself if you have a moment of feeling bad. Okay, the second thing I want to remind you about is that we're all in this together. That's a big part of why I created Chronic Babe in the first place, was so that we could all be together in this. And I want to remind you too that day to day, you may walk around in your life feeling like I have this thing forever and it's a huge burden and all these other people don't have these huge burdens. And that's just not true. You could look at any person you encounter in your life and you don't know everything they're going through. They may have limitations placed on them that they can't control. It could be money or status or location or age or birthright or whatever. There's so many different things that we encounter in our life we can't control. So when you walk around thinking I have this chronic illness and it's a burden and I'm gonna have it forever and all these other people don't have it, well, you never know what other people have and they're making it work. So it's just good to remember that you're not alone, and there are all these examples of people making it work all around you all the time. Okay, the key piece of information I want to offer you as advice is that the best thing we can do is come back to the here and now. When we focus on forever and we worry about like what may happen, I may get sick at any moment, I may have to stop at any moment and have a test or have something done to me or take a med or whatever, that is super overwhelming. But when you can stay right here in the moment and appreciate what you have in this moment, that can be very grounding, and then you feel a lot more calm, and that gives you a lot more energy to deal with the day-to-day stuff that happens in your life. So I've got a couple resources for you on this. One is this guy named Chris Germer, and he has a site called mindfulnessselfcompassion.org, and on the site there are tons of meditations. If you've never meditated before, don't worry, don't feel intimidated. He walks you through it. They're 15 to 20 minutes long, and they're a great way to kind of press the reset button on your life. It's a great way to stop and pause and just get a little bit of mental energy and really show yourself some kindness. And the other great resource I have for that is Thich Nhat Hanh. I'll put a link to his website below too. He's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He's my fave. I've got words of wisdom from him tattooed on my arm. I don't think it's going to show up on video, but the thing that I had tattooed on my arm that I need to remember every day myself is peace is every step. That means to me that in every moment you get to choose how you feel and how you behave. And for me, that often really just means coming back to now, coming back to this exact moment and being really thankful for what I have right now. Sometimes that's as small as just being thankful that I'm breathing. You know, one thing that Chris Germer says in his meditations is that sometimes it's nice to just feel appreciation for our body, no matter what it's doing at the moment. We have lungs that have breathed for us every moment since we were born. We have a heart that has pumped blood for us every moment since we were born. And if you can kind of come back to that one single moment and feel your breath and hear your heartbeat, it can be really, really calming and grounding. And then you don't feel so freaked out about forever because you're just here, right here. Okay, babes, I hope you've really enjoyed these resources today. I hope you find them really helpful. They are some of my favorites, and they really help keep me grounded and in the moment and not in that forever panic freak out mode, which we can get into. I hope you love this AWAP Wednesday video. I do these every week. If you have a question, please put it in the comments below or send me an email. If you like this video, please like it on Facebook and share it across your social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever. And thank you. Just thanks for being here every week and sending me great questions and giving me your feedback. I love to hear it. So thanks. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Beep. What am I doing? I not have it together today. Goodbyes are the hardest. Okay.